Abuja city, and those of you that listen from the social media and watching us live. This is your favorite program, Do It Right for Allah, coming to you from Citizen FM 93.7. It's time for us to deal with something that has to do with Allah somehow. Some things that we do just because Allah has instructed us to do same. And today, inshallah, wa bi qudratillahi ta'ala, we shall be looking at the importance or the challenges that is facing orphanage home in Islam. And inshallah, that will be our topic today. And we'll be looking at it holistically on how we can affect it in the best way. As we know that Allah in His infinite mercy has given the Muslims the rights and opportunity to do everything, and we were being instructed by Allah to do everything. So our ways is never just somebody's way. It has to be whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed before us to do. And that's why it is important for us to understand Islam plays high level of importance on the rights of orphan. And the Quran and Hadith contain verses and saying that emphasize the importance of caring for orphan and providing them with support and the need to strive. Some of the rights that we know about orphan in Islam includes we must feed them, we must clothe them, and we must give them shelter. Orphans have the right to be provided with basic necessity, and just as I said, they must be fed very well, not anyhow food, and they have to be given a good shelter. And this should be provided by the guardians or as well as the wider community. That's where it befalls on every one of us. Then education of orphan is as important as education of our children. Orphans have the right to receive education. This is essential for their future development and well-being. Excuse me. Guardians should provide their orphans or ward with access to qualitative education, regardless of their own financial status. We should look for them and give them that right. And we also need to protect them. Protecting orphan have the right to be protected from harm, including physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. We can't say because fans and they should be used anyhow. Guardians and other wider community have the responsibility to safeguard the right of orphan and ensure that they are safe and secure. In fact, the most important, the amazing thing is that inheritance, orphans has the right to inheritance, and the orphan have the right to inherit from their parents. This inheritance should be used to provide their needs and ensure that they have secure financial future. In addition to these basic rights, Islam also encouraged Muslims all over the world to go above beyond the care to care for orphan. For example, the Quran states that, and I quote, "And whoever is kind to an orphan is as if he has cherished a believing soul." That's Quran 17 verses 29. And if you look at this, these are some of the instructions that Allah in His infinite mercy has laid down. And that's why I said, Muslim, we don't just go into things, we take them the way Allah has instructed us to do them. That's one of the beautiful things. There's no opinionated ideology in Islam. It has to be from whatever Allah has ordained. These verses I quoted suggested that caring for orphans is meritorious act that it is rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muslims are also encouraged to treat orphans with compassion and kindness, and to provide them with love and support their needs to grow in healthy and well adjusted adults. You can see that this and many more are some of the things Quran has said, and that is our means and that's our purpose. That is the reason why we want to talk about this. Before I introduce my guests, I have a prosa that I need to I need to shed more light. In fact, some of the things that actually clinched my mind towards talking about this particular topic today. There was a certain time that I happened to have an experience working with top diplomats in Nigeria, and some of the friends, after the expiration of the time of the top diplomat person in Nigeria, and he wants to leave the country, they contributed some money to support him, and he decided to give it to Muslim orphanage home. But by and large, I was the one that was charged to go around to look for, I think I'm talking about 14, 15 years ago, and we couldn't find anyone. I even traveled out of Abuja. We couldn't find anyone owned by a Muslim. Meanwhile, Allah has been the one that instructed the Muslim to do this for the sake of the orphanage, because Allah knows they are going to be there. Somebody needs to manage them. So, but today we have people who have now seen the challenge and faced the challenge, and they are now doing so well. That's why we have bring one of the experts that has taken our time to dwell into this and may take it as a charity upon themselves, and they are now doing it on behalf of others. We have so many of them that is already around, but today I'm bringing on board to come and discuss what are the challenges these people that are in charge of this on behalf of the Muslim community all over Nigeria, what are the challenges they face, what do they need, what are the things we can do as Muslims to support them. I have with me Hajia Sharifat Ibrahim. Hajia Sharifat Ibrahim is a lawyer by profession. She's a lawyer by profession turned entrepreneur. She and some well-meaning sisters run a Muslim Halal Children Home called Halal Children Home, a home of orphan and vulnerable children. She also owns a female-only saloon. Hajia Sharifa is passionate about Islamic knowledge and obtained a certificate of Islamic therapy in the International Institute of Islamic Therapy, where she is currently teaching, as well as furthering her education to obtain a diploma in coping and therapy. She is married with 4 wives, and she's in the studio with me. Please, I have the privilege and honor to bring her to the board. Hajia, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You are welcome, ma.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Now, let's start this way. You heard the poster I said as regards to the diplomatic person that wanted to donate to the orphanage Muslim. Yes. Why is it difficult for the Muslim to own an orphanage home? Is that can we refer to that as a neglect, or what should we call it?
Well, I won't call it a neglect. I will say, because as you have reiterated, Islam has encouraged us to take care of orphans. So prior to the time that we had the insurgency in Nigeria, many of the Muslim homes, whenever they are orphans, the family members take up the responsibility of the children. You find out that if you go to any Muslim home, you will there's hardly any Muslim home where you will not find orphans being taken care of.
Or by a guardian.
By a guardian.
Okay.
Maybe a brother loses another brother, they will incorporate the children into the family, because we know how important it is to take care of orphans. I think that informed why there was no, should I say, agitation to start a Muslim home in the first place.
Okay. Now, what land led you into this challenge, so to say?
Thank you very much. Well, I and some of my sisters, about 12 of us, are running our home, Halal Children's Home. We started the home when we saw the problem that was facing the country during the insurgency, especially when it was at the peak in 2014. Okay. We saw that there were so many children that were orphaned and not enough family to take care of them.
Now they have escalated.
Okay. Yes. And there were so many vulnerable children too. like street children just roaming about. And we saw that this could be a time bomb for us if we don't get up and do something. Yes. Then another thing we saw was the fact that some of our Muslims will want to foster children. Where will they go to if they need to
like
foster children?
Like what happened to that ambassador?
Yes. Or where would they donate if they want to do sadaqah? Where can they go to? So those are the things that informed us to start the orphanage home.
Okay, before I will go into what are the challenges that you are facing, because I know it's not easy. I want you to juxtapose some of the things that already mattered, or let me say matched with Muslim or Islam. Most especially in Nigeria now, there's something we call al-majiri. Al-majiri, the concept of it was somebody who wants his children to go and learn from other malam, and he will look for which of the malam elsewhere that can take the children. So you just travel from there and bring the children. Some scholars have argued that we all do the same thing, but the difference between them and us is that we used to take our children to a boarding house, and when we get there, we will take them far, and because we believe that school is good, but we take care of their responsibility. But in Al-Majiri, she wants they come, they just dump the children. Some of them doesn't know their father, some of them doesn't know their places, some of them end up bearing the malam's name with due respect. If I may be wrong, I stand to be corrected. But how do you want to marry this with what Allah said as regards to orphan? Can we regard those people as orphan, or what can you say about this?
Well, what I would say is that I will consider them as vulnerable children. Because when you give a child out without going back to find out what is happening to that child, and there's no visitation, there's no upkeep given to the malam sends them away into the street to beg, to look for source of livelihood. And in this instance, these children are open to any form of abuse and any form of maltreatment. There was a day I was in the market and a boy came to me and was begging. And I looked at him, I said, "You are so young, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Where are your parents?" He said he came from very far up north. I can't remember the state then that he told me. I said, "So what are you doing here?" He said their malam brings them in from the outskirts of Abuja to Wuse market to beg around during the day. Take them back, and then they will do their Islamia in the evening. You can imagine that kind of child. What exactly will that child learn in the evening?
Can you please describe what kind of age
I think that child was like 11 years old.
Oh my goodness.
He didn't have shoes on. His clothes were tattered. I had to take him home, give him some things, because I was feeling so sad. That what a situation. We are the ones that are the custodians of these orphans and vulnerable children, and see what is happening. So I think we can do better. And I pray we will do better.
Yes, I know we can do better. Though Al-Majiri set of something has also produced a lot of wonderful people too, but the system should be improved. Now, Aja, let's move straight to the challenges. What are the challenges you have taken this orphanage home challenge upon yourself are facing on behalf of all of us? Because it is a duty of all of us. Because directly the Quran verses that I quoted, in fact, myself, when I dwell about that verse, I look at it that if you were able to take care of a child that's an orphan, it's as if you have done the best for others. It is important that everybody should do it, but you are doing it. Though you said some family might have done it, like our cultural something. Okay, the brother lost the family, so you bring the children in, but that has also reduced because of economic sensitivities. So what are the challenges we are facing?
Thank you for that question. We know that children need a lot of care. So for we at Halal Children's Home, one of the challenges we face is the upkeep of the children. We know that children this kind of project is a long-term thing. It's not something you do one time and it's finished. You have to keep taking care of these children until they reach a certain age where they can fend for themselves. Unfortunately, the government Well, they are trying, but they still need to do more. So one of the challenges we face is the upkeep, getting funds to take care of these children. When we bring them in, we need to feed them, we need to clothe them, we need to provide education, we need to provide health care. We have some special children amongst them that need serious attention, and that costs money. So those are the things we need first and foremost. That's one of the challenges we face. Getting funds to do as much as we want to do
for them.
Alhamdulillah, Allah has been faithful to us.
Alhamdulillah.
The children in our care, since we started, we had pledged to ourselves that we will not send them to government schools that are...
You mean public
schools? Sorry, correct. Public schools, because we want them to get the best of the education and become something, so that they can be productive citizens of Nigeria. So we got them enrolled into private schools, and we know how much education costs.
Yes.
We know how feeding, how it can be. When you have like almost 50 children in your care or more, how do you feed them daily? Those are the challenges.
There's another one.
That's another one. Then staff. We have staffs that we pay salaries to. Our staffs, alhamdulillah, Allah has been merciful. We have people that take care of these children and, show them care as much as they can. And they need to be paid very well.
So because they are the caregivers.
They are the caregivers. So if you don't pay them properly, how do you expect them to put in the best in their jobs? So that also is an aspect where, we need, is a challenge for us.
That you are facing.
Yes. Though I must say that we have created a kind of a way where people can come in, sponsor children, even if they don't take them to their homes.
They will still be with you.
They will still be with us, but you identify a child, take up the upkeep, maybe the education, health, and everything, and you pay an amount every month to take care of that specific child. We have Muslims that have come up to do that.
Okay, Aja, let's take it like this. You are a lawyer before you become an entrepreneur, and taking up the challenge of being doing this custodian of this orphanage children on behalf of the other Muslims. What are the legal tender that you people have taken into consideration of being with these children? I'm sure it's not just something you just do anyhow.
No,
it's something that you have taken an appropriate way to do it.
Okay.
So, can you speak from that angle with us?
Okay. Yes. The home is being supervised by Social Development Secretariat.
Okay.
Which is a government arm.
Okay.
So you can't start an orphanage without registering there. They need to know you.
Okay.
Then we also registered with the police station around the vicinity where we have the home, so that they know us. They know what we do.
Okay.
So that we can liaise whenever we need to synergize when issues come up, and or when their children to be given to the home, they know where to take them to. Then legally we are registered with the CAC as an NGO, non-governmental organization. Yes. So if you go to the CAC, you'll see our papers there. We are registered as an orphanage home that is faith-based and takes care of orphans and vulnerable children. So those are the legal aspects. Then we also operate with the Child Rights Act. That act states what are the rights children have, and then
even if they are
orphans, which is a universal right. Even if they are orphans, the act states it and talks about adoption and fostering, how to go about that. And that's one of the challenge we are facing in the home. Let me also say this: fostering children into to Muslims is a challenge we are facing, because sometimes these children stay with us for a long time, and it takes a while before somebody shows interest to pick them up.
Ajay, if I get you right,
yes,
sometimes you are with these children, you take care of them, and prepare them and seek some Muslims to come and take charge of them.
Yes.
And take them and give them good, convenient, good home.
Exactly.
So, but challenge of Muslim coming for this is another.
It's another challenge we face.
Should we say we don't understand it, or the advocate about it is not accurate?
Well, I will say that it's getting better, but I think we are still trying to advocate more for Muslims to come up and take up the challenge of fostering Muslim children. Next month will be the Fostering Adoption Day, World Adoption Day.
Okay.
Usually, what we do at Halal is to take a walk. We organize a walk for orphan children. I don't know if you have ever noticed that we do a walk in our Muslims come out and encourage people to foster children, to create that awareness that we are here. There are children that need your love and care. You can come to our home, identify children, and foster them. So this same work will be coming up by next week.
Okay. Let's leave that one there by next week, so that before you be giving bill to pay. Yes, if you want to do that, we can formally help you to talk about that. But now let's look at this angle of collaborations.
Yes.
I know there are international NGO, there are Islamic organization, there are governmental NGOs there are governmental institutions that their rights is to take care of vulnerable children and orphans like this. Is there any collaboration between you and these organizations? One. Second one is that before now, to be frank, at least I have done a lot of research about this. Before now, those who have seen that taking care of these homes for orphan and vulnerable children usually be individual interest or a philanthropist, particularly religious body like Christian bodies that does that before the Muslim takeover. Is there any synergy that the Muslims are doing in conjunction with these Christian bodies and other bodies? Because what I'm saying is that what I'm going to in that is that then when I was looking for where to get orphanage home, we saw Muslim children in this Christian orphanage home that they gave the rights to. How? They tutor them in Islamic way. They also offer them to go to mosque. Some of them got them some malams to train them, even if the Christians were the one paying their bills. So now some of the Muslims are coming up. Are we repatriating the same thing?
Well, I will put it this way. When we registered Halal Children's Home, we had our focus on Muslim children. However, we've had Christian children come into the home from the social development, and we have never turned down any child because humanity first.
Before religious attachment.
Religion. Then, when you say synergy, well, we have Association of Orphanages in Abuja. So yes, coaching. We always have meetings whenever issues come up that we need to trash. Whenever there's need to help one another, we do that. So you see that Halal may go and visit another orphanage to offer support, whether in terms of kind, like take food support to other orphanages that we feel may need it, and visit them to show that yes, this is about humanity. It's not just about us. Oh my goodness,
that's good to know. Now let's look at this angle. Why this? I have a great concern about the orphanage, and I see that we're doing little about it. That does not mean that I'm underestimating your effort, because at least in Abuja now we can say you are one of the leading orphanage home in Abuja, and that's why we seek your assistance to come and help us shed more lights into challenges we're facing. Now, is there any things you are doing to add to speak to the mind of organizations, rather than organizing things that are not? These are very important because these children must be taken care of. It's a Quran injunction. Are you having any synergy with the organization, Islamic organizations, in terms of some of these your challenges that you're talking about?
Yes, I remember that we organized talks, Ramadan talks, to create awareness to Muslims, and we invite other organizations to come in, to listen to those talks. Then even the work that I was about to talk about, we always do a talk
within work.
Just immediately after the work, we call somebody, a scholar, to talk to Muslims about the rights of orphans, the need to show care and love, the need to foster them, so that people, creating that awareness will make people to start yearning to do their own part also. And we have some of our members that are from Ansaruddin, and
you mean other Islamic organizations?
Other Islamic organizations.
I don't want us to be specific.
Yes. I didn't want to just mention any name. With
due respect to Ansar Islamic Society, they are very wonderful people.
Yes. So we have members from there, and we have other members from other organizations too there. So those members serve as our mouthpiece in their own organization to carry our message to their people, to the members of those organizations, that we are here, this is what we do. The Muslim children are here, they need you, come.
Okay. Aja, now let's be more psychological speaking now. I want to talk about the kind of orientation these children are having.
Yeah.
Are they feeling lonely? Are they feeling they are not at home? Are they feeling they are not with their parents? But before we do that, I want to open the lines for some of our viewers at home to join us. If you have anything to ask Ajia, she's an expert, she's also a lawyer. You can see that their organization has been doing very fantastically well in order to do our duty on our behalf to take care of these children and vulnerable ones. And the number to reach us is 0903 2229 797. Again, 0903 2229 797. And you can also reach us on 0818 2222 206. 0818 2222 206. These are the numbers you can call. You have the opportunity to tell us some of the experience you or might have seen, and some of the things that you need to ask. Maybe the process of how you can also be in support, and or you have children that are vulnerable somewhere that you actually want to bring to Lifeline. We'll be glad to have you, the super citizen, to join us on this program. And Aja, the question I said we should go into, before I go into that, I think I need to go for this break, so that when we come back, it will be the program again, and I will come to you directly for that, the angle I want to take that question from. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Allah, He's never far away. Put your trust in Him, raise your hands and pray. Ooh, yeah, Allah, guide my steps, don't let me go astray. You're the only one who can show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Inshallah. Inshallah.
foster, we would like to them to know.
In fact, GM ti sọ wípé òun láìpẹ́ mi lọ kí ni pé station wa máa parapọ̀ mọ́ yín.
Okay.
So tẹ́ bá ti ṣe tán sí àlọ́ bá.
Okay. Inshallah.
Yes, it's still. Yes, the program is still. Do it right for Allah. Do it right for Islam, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, the program is still on, and the Muslims are in target here to wake us up, to let us face some of the realities in the area we are lacking, some of the realities in the area we careless about, in some of the realities, in some of the neglects we do, and some people are standing by for us. And in studio with me, I have Adia Ibrahim. She is from Nalal Home, and she has been discussing the challenges that Adia Sherifat Ibrahim. She has been discussing the challenges those who are in charge of orphanage home faces, and what is expected of us as Muslims, and the legal rights and other things that so as I said earlier before we go on break, I said if you want to join us on this program, you can call in and tell us or ask Aja directly whatever you think you want to know, and you can call us on 0903 2229 797 0818 205 0818 That is the line you can use to join us. Now, I said we need to be a little bit psychological about what we are talking about. Now, if a child is born into his own home, is with a parents, is with his father and mother, there's this joy of being with my father and my mother. And even me, sometimes I used to make example of myself. My mother died when I was 6 years old, and I could not see my father and my mother for just 1 minute that I can remember. And I know I can never see them again, because that's not possible again. That thing still pains me to my inner part of my sometimes, that why my home like that. Now imagine that for somebody who cannot even identify who his father is or his mother. So psychologically, how do you think they used to feel? What are the things you are doing to make them feel their importance and they're cared for?
Yes, thank you for that question. Yes, for the children in the home, we know that it can't be the same for them. Like when you have your father and your mother, and you can do anything you want to do. That is why we always advocate for fostering, so that when these children have a semblance of a home where people love them, they can grow up to be whole citizens of Nigeria. But what we try to do in the home is to create that atmosphere of total acceptance of these children.
Total acceptance
Wherever you are from, we don't discriminate you. We try to show as much love to them as we can. We encourage the men to come on board too.